For today's video, I do want to speak about the future of Barcelona's defense. Xavi's whole idea was to revolve the defensive project around Jules Koundé and Ronald Araujo. So we saw either Koundé and Araujo as the center back duo, or we saw Koundé as a right back with Araujo and Cubarsi as the two center backs. But for sure, no matter what, Koundé and Araujo were going to be the main defenders within the back line. That was the sporting project of Xavi Hernandez, and it allowed us to dream, because when we saw Koundé and Araujo play together, whether it was Koundé on the right back position or on the center back position, they played together very well. And we're like, there is no way this Barcelona team from the defensive line can improve. But then came January 2024, and we saw the emergence of Cubarsi. When Cubarsi came into the defensive line and he was playing with Araujo and Koundé, there was so much more character at the back line that with Koundé, Araujo, and Cubarsi and Balde, Barcelona can go even further. And because of the emergence of Cubarsi, it again allowed us to dream, and to dream even bigger. Back on January 18th, 2024, Cubarsi made his debut with the first team against Unionistas in the Copa del Rey, and he was subbed in on the 46th minute. And all of us were like, who the heck is this player? Another center back from the La Masia? Really? We'd rather trust on Andreas Christensen or some other center back. Like, okay, fine. Cubarsi is just a short-term solution. Who knows if he's going to be good? We were very confused. And then his first start in La Liga came against Real Betis right before his 17th birthday. And then from there, the rest was history. Cubarsi showed his class, and he showed what type of center back he could be. He went from defending very well against Napoli's forward Osimhen to defending very solid against Kylian Mbappe in the next month. He was having masterclasses within his first 2 or 3 months at the age of just 17 years old. And again, we were all confused. We're like, where did this center back even come from? This man, Pau Cubarsi, is playing the perfect game, and he's not even 18 years old. After Cubarsi had amazing performances against PSG, against Napoli, Xavi Hernandez even stated, when Pau Cubarsi has the ball on his feet, my heart rate does not go up, because he simply trusts Cubarsi on the ball, which is true, right? Because when he has the ball, his range, his timing, his execution is perfect. He can use his left foot, he can use his right foot when it comes to short passes, long passes, driving the ball forward and into the final third. He is amazing. He can do everything. And I think that many of us can agree that if we go down 3 years later with Cubarsi starting, it can be a much better alternative to the backline of Christensen, Araujo, Koundé, and Balde. I think that Cubarsi being included in there and replacing Christensen gives us so much more. It adds more character in the backline, and I believe this is the reason why Hansi Flick looks at Cubarsi with so much importance. And this is what the sources from Germany had to say about how Flick views Pau Cubarsi. Flick plans to firmly include Pau Cubarsi in the central defense for the upcoming season. Flick sees the 17-year-old player as an absolute key player for the future. He has already demonstrated at FC Bayern and in the past that he can handle young players very well, and he has a contract until 2027. And so this is good news, because the last thing I wanted to see going into the next season is Hansi Flick ignoring the player, because he is not the most physical, nor is he tall. Hansi Flick likes center backs who are much more like Van Dijk or Bastoni or Rudiger. Cubarsi shows that he is somebody like Maldini or Puyol. Short, not the most physical, but very good on the ball. Either way though, Hansi Flick does see his talent, and he believes that he can be even better. Now look, he is 17 years old. We just don't know how much Hansi Flick is going to trust him and how many minutes he's going to give him, because what I really do wonder is whether Cubarsi is going to be receiving the exact same minutes he was receiving under Xavi Hernandez. Because with Barcelona grabbing a new pivot and with Christensen going back into the center back role, could we see rotation going on between Andreas Christensen and Cubarsi? Here is going to be another viewpoint. Hansi Flick saw the best version of Barcelona under Xavi Hernandez, which was in the 2022-2023 season, where Barcelona had the best defense in the world, where they only allowed 20 goals in one season. And that defensive line consisted of Koundé, Araujo, Christensen, and Balde. Could Hansi opt for the exact same defensive line with Cubarsi rotating with Christensen here and there, or maybe even Araujo? And honestly, to me, even though Cubarsi really did show that he does have a great future ahead, I would not find it a problem for him to take a step down in minutes and have him compete for minutes against somebody who is 10 years older than him. And I believe that every young player should find that type of experience, right, to compete for minutes into the starting 11. I have said this before, players like Pedri, Gavi, Yamal found it way too easy to break into the starting 11. Yamal had no competition. Gavi, Pedri never had competition. We even said every time these players are out, Barcelona look different, and these players are feeding into that. They must find competition going into the 11, and especially when you are only 17, 18, 19 years old. It cannot be that easy, and this also does lower the standards of FC Barcelona. Now, if you look at Christensen and Cubarsi, because I believe that they are going to be rotated, and we compare the players, these these are two center backs who do distribute different qualities. Cubarsi, you can see, brings much more defensive actions. His duel rate is much higher, hence the reason why he had great performances against Kylian Mbappe and many other forwards in 2024. His progressive passes is also there. His forward passes is very complete, and I can see why Hansi would favor that over the other alternative. But then again, Christensen is superior in aerial duels and carrying the ball forward. And in today's times, right, modern football, we do see a lot of teams distribute aerial duels. Like teams do like to score with headers. Real Madrid, Athletic Club, Girona, they're really good at that. Even in Europe, when we go out there, teams like Bayer Leverkusen are going to be very dangerous. Man City, Bayern Munich, they're all going to be very dangerous in the air. And maybe in those games, you may want to favor Christensen over Cubarsi. And so we'll see in the end who Hansi Flick opts to start in the next season. I cannot wait. But let me tell you, Cubarsi has a really good chance at the age of just 17 years old. Moving on towards the next topic, and now let's talk about Mikayil Faye, because it says here, according to multiple sources, that Hansi Flick and Deco really do like Mikayil Faye. The youngster is expected to be involved in the first team dynamics from the next season under Hansi Flick. Santi Ovalle also claimed that Mikayil Faye does intend to stay at Barcelona. He'll even do preseason with the first team. Now, I know that you guys have been hearing something different, and that is why I do want to clear up. There has been sources and stories also claiming that Barcelona assumes that they will receive a good offer for Mikayil Faye. Faye himself no longer plans to continue at Barcelona, and his future would be in the first team or through an exit while keeping control over him. The decision will be up to Hansi Flick. Faye is considering leaving Barcelona. He's disappointed because he has not received minutes in the first team. And let me tell you guys, again, you see how like these stories do go against one another, very contradicting, right? But I would say that the reason why these reports about how Faye is considering leaving Barcelona because he's not in the first team yet is being fed by the agent. The agent is leaking these type of stories to the media just for the goal of having his client, Mikayil Faye, to go into the first team, to give Barcelona pressure. It's a media manipulation. It's an old tactic that agents do like to do. I strongly believe that Faye enjoys being at Barcelona no matter what. He plays with a lot of enthusiasm, he scores, he defends very well. Mikayil Faye, not too long ago, earlier this year, also stated, patience is to calmly accept that things come at a different time than you expected. So Mikayil Faye is very well aware that, yes, he would love to join like the Barcelona first team, but he knows that it's going to be taking some time. It's not so easy. You have to work hard and always be ready for the opportunity. But then again, you know, you have the agent, right? His agent leaking out these false stories just to create the pressure between Barcelona and the player, and also us as a fan base. This kind of goes back to what I said before. Gavi, Pedri, Yamal, Cubarsi found it too easy to get into the first team. The fact that Barcelona showcased that these youngsters can just go into the first team and start is going to eventually influence the other youngsters in Barcelona Athletic, and they're going to be thinking, hey, why me at the age of 19 years old have I not made it to the first team yet? And you have players like Yamal, Pedri, Gavi, and Cubarsi going in at the age of 17 years old. It doesn't make any sense. I should be leaving. They probably hate me. When that is not the case, Barcelona need to establish high standards because they have to showcase that not everyone can make it. Not every youngster can simply go into the starting 11 and be an important player. Barcelona have different rules now. That is why Barcelona are taking their time on Mikayil Faye. They want the player to work hard, to be patient, to understand that it's not so easy to get into the first team. Mikayil Faye is going to be one of the first players where he's going to have to work hard, perform well, and then once he's given that chance, he will give it his all. And that is exactly what we do want to see. There's a reason why Barcelona rejected so many offers for Mikayil Faye. Like back in January, RC Lens wanted Mikayil Faye, but Barcelona rejected the offer. Back in August or September or October of 2023, it was also reported that Girona were following the player and they wanted him. But again, Barcelona rejected all offers. They do not want to let the player go. Why? That is because they believe that he has great potential, but he's going to need to be patient. But Barcelona do have plans for him. And even if this was true, even if Mikayil Faye said, I no longer want to continue here because he believes that he should be seeing first team football, then okay, be out. If this was true, then yes, go out. Go to a different club, because we don't want players that feel so entitled and feel like just because you see other players out there at the age of 16, 17, 18 years old going into the first team means that you should go too. No, you cannot be entitled. You have to respect the process, respect the standards that Barcelona are building now with Hansi Flick, and respect the culture. Now, I don't think that this is the case. I don't believe that any of this is true. I think that Faye will be there in the preseason, be patient, be calm, and eventually deliver and be with us in the first team to join Cubarsi, Christensen, Araujo, and Koundé. Now, let's say, for example, Faye says that he does want to stay. He sees no other club but Barcelona, but Barcelona want to force a sale because they want to gain funds. While yes, it could be making a lot of sense to sell the player because we bought him for 5 million euros, we can sell him for 35 million euros. It would be a huge mistake to let go of the player. Every world-class team needs 4 great quality center backs. 4. Right now, we have 3 because Koundé is not one of them. Koundé is a right back. Araujo, Cubarsi, and Andreas Christensen is our only 3 great center backs. I think that Inigo Martinez will be leaving based off the stories and the leaks that we have been given, because now with Hansi Flick in charge of Barcelona, Inigo Martinez has less prominence. We need another center back, and that other center back can be Mikayil Faye to join the 3 center backs that we currently do have. And his potential is enormous. We cannot let go of the player so early. I think that if we can give Faye 3 seasons with the first team, then we can say, okay, has this player been good enough? And should we extend him on a long-term deal? And so that is it. That is going to be wrapping up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.